Okay, guys, so chapter 8, we're going to cover the following point, as you can see here on the screen. And this is a very nice chapter, and you will enjoy this chapter. Now, point number one, physical safety. And physical safety are the dangers that could lead to serious injuries. And in the exam, they might ask you to mention them or explain them. One of the danger is electrocution, and electrocution can happen due to two things. If you are drinking next to equipment and then you spill the drink on the equipment, what will happen? Electrocution. If you are touching live wires due to bad insulation, what will happen? Electrocution. So how can we avoid this? First of all, never drink next to equipment or never put the drink next to your equipment to avoid spilling them, and make sure that you have a very good insulated wires by maintaining them and double checking them all the time. Another issue nowadays is you can also use water resistant equipment. So in this case, whenever you have some kind of drink that's spilled on your keyboard, for example, if your keyboard is a water resistant keyboard, the keyboard will not be affected. You can just bring anything and clean the keyboard. Okay, so this is the first danger, and this is how you can mitigate it or avoid it. Second one is fire, and fire can happen due to sockets being overloaded, because if you are using too many devices in the same power extensions, you will find that the power extension will start to heat up. And whenever power extension heat up, what will happen to the insulators, the plastics? They will start to melt. And if they melt, live wires might touch each other, spark, and then fire. So how you can avoid this, make sure that you distribute the devices on different sockets so that you can avoid these kind of sockets being overloaded. Another one that can lead also to fire is making sure that if you have an equipment like a computer, the computer has a very good ventilation and the computer sit in a very cool environment. Because if you have bad fans or the fans are not working or they're covered in this, what will happen? The computer will start also, the temperature will start to rise up, and whenever temperature rise up, what will happen to insulators? Insulator will start to melt and then touching between live wires and fire also. Okay, tripping over trailing wires, make sure that you have a very good wire management. Duck the wire around the walls, never put the wires in front in the corridor, for example, or where people walk by, or use wireless also. You can avoid having these kind of accidents. Heavy or fallen equipments, how we can mitigate this? Make sure that you put the heavy equipments on the floor. For example, if you have a very big case of a computer, you can put it on the floor instead of putting it at the edge of the table where it can fall and cause a danger. Or use a very sturdy desk to avoid this kind of accidents. Okay, so this is what we call physical safety, and let me show you how the exam will ask you this kind of question. So the question might say name three safety issues associated with using your computer and describe how we can minimize it. And as you can see, these questions is 6 marks. So we can say electrocution due to spilling drinks. Let's say it's one of them, and how we can mitigate it, because they say that we need to describe how we can minimize the risk. So whenever we mention electrocution as our first answer, you can say don't drink next to computer. The second one can be overloading sockets, and it also can be, for example, the fire from overloading socket. It can be minimized by making sure that you have, let's say, more than one extension in the room, or distribute the devices between different extension in the room. Okay, and we can have a fire, let's say, due to bad ventilation. How we can fix this? By making sure that the device fans or cooling system is working fine. Okay, so this is how we normally get these kind of questions, and this is how you can answer them.